Hello everybody, happy Friday. We're going to get right back into Sci-Fi Read Aloud. This is part 10, and we'll finish up chapter 6 of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea today. So enjoy that. The crew waited impatiently for their chief's orders. The latter, after having observed the animal attentively, called the engineer. The engineer ran to him. "Sir," said the commander, "you have steam up?" "Yes, sir," answered the engineer. "Well, make your fires and put on all steam." 3 hurrahs greeted this order. The time for the struggle had arrived. Some moments after, the 2 funnels on the frigate vomited torrents of black smoke, and the bridge quaked under the trembling of the boilers. The Abraham Lincoln, propelled by her powerful screw, went straight at the animal. The latter allowed it to come within half a cable's length, then, as if disdaining to dive, took a little turn and stopped a short distance off. This pursuit lasted nearly 3/4 of an hour, without the frigate gaining 2 yards on the cetacean. It was quite evident that at that rate we should never come up with it. "Well, Mr. Land," asked the captain, "do you advise me to put the boats out to sea?" "No, sir," replied Ned Land, "because we shall not take that beast easily." "What shall we do then?" "Put on more steam if you can, sir. With your leave, I mean to post myself under the bowsprit, and if we get within harpooning distance, I shall throw my harpoon." "Go, Ned," said the captain. "Engineer, put on more pressure." Ned Land went to his post. The fires were increased, the screw revolved 43 times a minute, and the steam poured out of the valves. We heaved the log and calculated that the Abraham Lincoln was going at a rate of 18.5 miles an hour. But the accursed animal swam too, at the rate of 18.5 miles an hour. For a whole hour, the frigate kept up this pace without gaining 6 feet. It was humiliated for one of the swiftest sailors in the American Navy. A stubborn anger seized the crew. The sailors abused the monster, who, as before, disdains to answer them. The captain no longer contented himself with twisting his beard. He gnawed it. The engineer was again called. "You have turned full steam on?" "Yes, sir," replied the engineer. The speed of the Abraham Lincoln increased. Its masts trembled down to their stepping holes, and the clouds of smoke could hardly find way out of the narrow funnels. They heaved the log a second time. "Well?" asked the captain of the man at the wheel. 19 miles and 3/10, sir. Clap more steam." The engineer obeyed. The manometer showed 10 degrees, but the cetacean grew warm itself, no doubt, for without straining itself, it made 19 miles and 3/10. What a pursuit! No, I cannot describe the emotion that vibrated through me. Ned Land kept his post, harpoon in hand. Several times the animal let us gain upon it. "We shall catch it! We shall catch it!" cried the Canadian. But just as he was going to strike, the cetacean stole away with rapidity that cannot be estimated at less than 30 miles an hour. And even during our maximum of speed, it bullied the frigate, going round and round it. A cry of fury broke from everyone. At noon, we were no further advanced than at 8 o'clock in the morning. The captain then decided to take more direct means. "Ah," said he, "the animal goes quicker than the Abraham Lincoln. Very well. We will see whether it will escape these conical bullets. Send your men to the forecastle, sir." The forecastle gun was immediately loaded and slewed round, but the shot passed some feet above the cetacean and was half a mile off. "Another more to the right," cried the commander, "and $5 to whoever will hit that infernal beast." An old gunner with a gray beard, that I can see now with steady eye and grave face, went up to the gun and took long aim. A loud report was heard, with which were mingled the cheers of the crew. The bullet did its work. It hit the animal, but not fatally, and sliding off the rounded surface, was lost in 2 miles depth of sea. The chase began again, and the captain, leaning toward me, said, I will pursue that beast till my frigate bursts up. Yes, answered I, and you will be quite right to do it. I wish the beast would exhaust itself, but not be insensible to fatigue like a steam engine. But it was of no use. Hours passed without it showing any signs of exhaustion. However, it must be said in praise of the Abraham Lincoln that she struggled on indefatigably. I cannot reckon the distance she made under 300 miles during this unlucky day, November the 6th. But night came on and overshadowed the rough ocean. Now I thought our expedition was at an end, and that we should never again see the extraordinary animal. I was mistaken. At 10 minutes to 11 in the evening, the electric light reappeared 3 miles to windward of the frigate, as pure, as intense as during the preceding night. The narwhal seemed motionless, perhaps tired with its day's work. It slept, letting itself float with the undulation of the waves. Now was a chance of which the captain resolved to take advantage. He gave his orders. The Abraham Lincoln kept up half steam and advanced cautiously so as to not awake its adversary. It is no rare thing to meet in the middle of the ocean whales so sound asleep that they can be successfully attacked, and Ned Land had harpooned more than one during its sleep. The Canadian went to take his place under the bowsprit. The frigate approached noiselessly, stopped at 2 cables' length from the animal, and followed its track. No one breathed. A deep silence reigned on the bridge. We were not 100 feet from the burning focus, the light which increased and dazzled our eyes. At this moment, leaning on the forecastle bulwark, I saw below me Ned Land grappling the martingale in one hand, brandishing his terrible harpoon in the other, scarcely 20 feet from the motionless animal. Suddenly his arm straightened, the harpoon was thrown, and I heard the sonorous stroke of the weapon, which seemed to have struck a hard body. The electric light went out, and suddenly 2 enormous water sprouts broke over the bridge over the frigate, rushing like a torrent from stem to stern, overthrowing men and breaking the lashing of the spurs. A fearful shock followed, and, thrown over the rail without having time to stop myself, I fell into the sea. Thank you, everybody. We'll be back on Monday with Chapter 7.